We're finally doing it.
We're in the basement. It's been, what, like a year?
Yeah, about that.
Since the last time you were in our basement, we purchased a ginormous, and I mean ginormous, what's that, like 15 foot long?
It's longer than that, I think.
It's longer than that. At least 15 foot long couch. Today's video, we're going to be showing you how we put in some new lighting, put in a new rug, and a new desk situation because the old one just isn't working.
So this lighting, it's the builder grade lights that it came with. They're not bad, they're actually pretty good. We're gonna do a flush mount that sits only about an inch off the ceiling like we did in our hall, and hopefully that brightens it up. The light bulbs in this are always going out. We don't know why. My cousin's electrician, he thinks it's because it's in the basement. People are always walking up top and it breaks the bulbs.
We're gonna be using these. They last up to 45 years. I'm just hoping they last at least a couple years.
These flush mount lights we got from Home Depot are really easy to install. Basically do the wiring. There's a little bracket in here that hangs up in there. You slip it in, it's 3 pieces, and screw this. You just twist this on and the light is up.
So the old rug went in the garbage. We'll throw a picture up here so you can see what this living room looked like with the old rug and the old couch. It wasn't bad, but the old rug had seen better days because my kids are gross. And the other couch just wasn't big enough for our entire family. We have 5 kids, so we needed more space. So this couch came with, I think, what, a dozen pillows?
A lot. There's
maybe
a lot
14,
of pillows.
I don't know, way more than we're gonna keep. The thing is that they're really nice pillows. We're gonna have new covers sewn for them. My sister-in-law Mariah is gonna do it, because this fabric isn't gonna do it for me. Luckily we have 4 that are these velvety gray. They're very soft, so we'll keep those. And then I'll probably have about, I don't know, 6 more covered. And then that'll be plenty for down here. One of the other reasons I'm having covers sewn is because these are 22 by 22. They're ginormous, and so it's hard to find pillowcases like at IKEA or Hobby Lobby. So I'm thinking I'm gonna incorporate a lot of bright white pillows so that way if they get dirty, I can just bleach them and it will lighten up this very dark gray sectional. I had contemplated going with a light sectional down here, but we went with this dark gray because this is our family room. And so I wanted something that would hide stains and dirt over time, and we did get an extended warranty, so if it rips or tears or there's a stain we can't get out, they'll either fix it or replace it. Last time we redid the basement, we did this coffee table, which we still love. It actually works in the space very well. It fits the area. It's been colored on by Jack, so we're just going to give it a good scrubbing and keep this down here.
Alright, so now we have to figure out the magic of getting a rug underneath the couch when the couch is already in place. The couch is heavy, the rug is big, it should be fun.
I should have measured and just got a smaller rug. So this rug is dark, and I'd contemplated going with like a lighter color, but I know that my kids are gonna be eating popcorn and pizza, and I needed something that was gonna survive. At under $150 from Wayfair, if it lasts a year, I'll have gotten my money's worth. And covering the floor with a rug is much cheaper than buying new carpet for the basement. The previous couch situation allowed for us to have plenty of room to get around to the laundry room, to get around. We actually keep extra product down here. But right now, this new couch is so big, this has to go. But we still have to have a place where the kids can work on the computer or do their homework, because otherwise they're using our work computer. So we're going to get rid of this desk, and we're going to be setting up a new workstation for the kids.
Okay, so this is the bottom of the stairs right here. Nice public area where we can eyeball what the kids are doing on the internet. We've got 2 Patrick corbels, and then I'm going to use an Oliver corbel right here. I'll notch this out so it goes around, so it sits up nice and flush. We'll move the computer over. We found these bar stools thrifting, and I'll put it just the right height for the bar stool so it'll be easy to use that way, and it should work out good. We can put a couple kids for homework right here.
Well, and on that section over there that's the bottom of the stairs, that's going to be more like for decor so it doesn't look funky. I was worried that if we just made a desk right here, that it would be like a corner that the kids would always be catching their leg on. So it'll be nice and flush all the way across. That'll look like a console table, and this will be their desk.
The tricky part on this is going to be cutting this part out here to the right depth, and I'm going to try to match the curve of the wall.
I'm just giving these bar stools a coat of Apothecary. This is DIY paint, so it doesn't require any prep. For full coverage, you'd probably want 2 coats, but I'm gonna distress these pretty heavy, and then I'm gonna do a stencil and some white wax. So 1 coat will be good enough for the look I'm going for.
Time to do a test fit. Looks like we are winning. The wall is not straight, but that's usually the case. So the garage is still a little bit blown up. It's time to put this trim on this. So what I do is I line up this end down here. Then once I've got it flush on the other end, I'll just mark it right here. I find this method to be much more effective than actual measuring. Now that is cut right there, you can see where my line was, and then I'm right to that. That should make a nice 45 edge. A little bit of glue along this top edge. This is Tight Bond 2. Now I'm going to hang the lip over and use the aid of this clamp to help me hold this tight while I fit it flush. The other part of the board already has a 45 on it, so now all I've got to do is butt that up against that and mark it and cut that straight. Adding this trim on here is going to do a couple of things. It's going to make it look better and more finished, but it's also going to add some strength to the front of the wood. Spackle, we use DAP, and I'm just filling these holes where the staples are. I'm going to sand over them. That's going to put some sawdust right on these, and they should take stain fairly decently. It's not going to be a true match. I've got some lightweight, but it'll hide those staple holes a little better and make them smooth. Before we stain it, I'm going to use a 3/8 countersink so that I can use these 3/8 plugs. So before we go ahead and stain this, I've got a 3/8 countersink bit that we're going to use. We're going to fill it with these plugs, but these holes here will be what fasten it to the corbel.
We're going to be using Real Stain number 2. It's all natural, non-toxic, water-based. Comes in a powder. You just mix it with the water the way it calls for and shake it up. Let it sit for a few hours, and then you're ready to go. Make sure if you're working on a big project that you shake it intermittently, because sometimes the pigments can settle to the bottom. I'm going to be using just an old sock that had a hole in it. I'm not worried about it accidentally getting onto my countertop because, like I said, it's water-based, so it'll just come right off. And if it gets on my hand, it'll come off as well. Dries in about 15 minutes, and you can add multiple coats to get darker color if you want, or you can just go with a light color. I got a little bit of paint down here, but once this dries, I'm going to sand it all off and that will come off.
The kids are probably going to beat these stools up anyway, so we're going to distress them. It'll match the rest of the look with the chippy doors that we've got going in the basement. While we wait for the bar stools and the desktop to dry, I've got the corbels. These are the Patrick corbels that we've got on our website. This is the smaller version of it, the Oliver. I had to cut it down on the back and modify it just a little bit to fit that cutout, because that's where I'm going to put this one. But you can see it's a little bit smaller to start with anyway. I'm going to drill right through here on the front, and then through here on the back at an angle, and these will go into the studs like that, and then I'm going to fill that and we'll paint over with some milk paint to match. That way you don't know that they were ever drilled. When you order them off of jamirayvintage.com, they come without any holes or anything in them because a lot of people don't necessarily use them for a shelf, they'll use them for decor or something. So the top is dry. It only took about 15 minutes in the house, and now we're gonna seal it up and it'll be ready to put down and install, and this desk will be done. I'm winning. The computer's gonna go right here, so I'm gonna just give it a little hole so that we have a place for the cord to go down nice and neat. It's only taken us a year to get back down to the basement and finally finish it, but that seems to be the way projects go.
The basement's not finished.
Oh.
We need to get some more pillows down here. I'm looking at putting a wreath up there. You've got to fix the cabinet doors that the kids broke.
That's true.
And then there's also the laundry room.
I don't include the laundry room as part of the basement. We can shut the door on that.
Creating a space that works well for our family is really important to us. We want to have a place where we can have fun, we can use media, we can be together. And so this process has been kind of slow and layer by layer, but I think we now really have a space that works for our family.
It took us a while to figure out what we really wanted. And essentially everybody's got to have a spot on the couch where nobody's touching anybody else, or else we can't watch the movie in peace.
If you want to see some of the projects that we did last year that are still here in this room, Zep's going to drop them in the link below. If you want to achieve a similar look for your project, be sure to go to jamirayvintage.com for corbels, paint, stain, and all your DIY needs.
If you like how this is turning out and you want to see more projects like this or the continuation as we do the finishing touches on this room, make sure you're subscribed. Please share it with all your friends.
Comment with any questions you have about living spaces that you're working on. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up and subscribe to Jami Ray Vintage for more
DIY.
Hit the subscribe button.